With 6 weeks to go in the regular season, your Jacksonville Jaguars are a game and a half away from clinching the AFC South and solely playing for that bye against the Miami Dolphins, Baltimore Ravens, and Kansas City Chiefs. Now, we could settle it all here against the Raiders, as currently Houston 6-6 have 5 more losses than us. However, they were the only team to beat us so far this year, giving them just 4.5 games back. But if we win against the Raiders, the Texans drop their game against the Broncos, that is our division done and dusted, and we are strictly playing for seeding. So as we jump into this matchup at home in Duval, hosting the Las Vegas Raiders, we'll look to clinch here today. But as we look to get this game underway, we will start with a quarter sim, and come the end of the first quarter, we have taken a 7-0 lead. We'll get into the second quarter as well, doubling that advantage and tacking on a field goal, 17-0 at halftime. We'll scoot along into the third quarter as well. Raiders do finally find some points, but we answer with a touchdown of our own. We can look to slow things down a little bit here with a turnover on downs, 4th down. They only pick up 4. We take over plus side. And a big shot here to Addison, 22 yards, has us inside the 10. And while we could easily look to continue moving quickly, I want to jump on out here. Inside the 10, inside 7 minutes to go. Hulk will look to step up with an invite to the end zone as they vacate the middle. It's another rushing touchdown on the year for Jeff Hulk, as he's stacked on passing and rushing touchdowns this season. And he even had 2 blockers there who didn't even have a man to block. That doesn't mean the Raiders are going to give up. They haven't found a touchdown today, but Bird has them moving, not getting the offside penalty though with Junior Alford, and instead it's Alford gonna get a sack. 2nd and 20 following the loss of 10. And I do want to issue my apologies. Called the early jump there on Alford. It was actually Mason Smith. Alford did his job correctly through and through, but wide open here. Completing for the first down and breaking a few tackles along the way. Bird finds his captain of a receiver. And it's a guy we know fairly well, Tank Dell, formerly with Houston Texans, now here with the Raiders. As they look to get the run game going, Mason Smith, good flow outside, pauses it for the linebackers to conjoin for the stop. Of course, Devin Lloyd having a fantastic year this year. Once again, joining with Alukin, who we re-signed this last offseason. And another good play. It's Junior Alford. Now the whole defense playing tough here inside the red zone, trying to keep them out of the end zone. As it's a delayed handoff, gonna pick up about half the yards, actually a little bit more than half the yards needed. There is Hammond. You've got Amerson getting stuck in as well. They're the slot corner with the run stop at the 8. Leaving a 4th and 4. Double A gap look here for this defense. Bird rolls out, avoiding the pressure of every single edge rusher, and gives up a beautiful thrown ball, but it's Tank Dell unable to get the catch in bounds, leading to a turnover on downs. However, we do have a booth review coming in here, so we will take a second look here for Tank Dell. No, not a single foot there, comes down inbounds with possession. Good call out on the field. Well then, we need, moving forward, is about a first down. Let the Vegas Raiders call their final timeouts. It's Etienne. Down the left side, he picks up 3. Well, there was a lot of expectations. Etienne would take a bit of a back seat this year, but he's just put together one of his better seasons. But a penalty comes down here on another run to Etienne. This will back up the Jaguars. We call holding on Quentin Starks, getting his chance to start this year and has played pretty well. 2nd and 12, Etienne with space, though great open field tackle. For Etienne, who probably thought he had a great chance at getting the first down there, he will have to try to find it with a 3rd and 6, though letting that play clock roll down. It's an I form, though Madison Turner going to motion over to the left-hand side, make that a bunch look. Etienne to run that way with a good pull there from Madison Turner, picking up the big block. And that's the same man we motioned out, and that sets up this ball game to come to a close. And that touchdown would be all that would be needed to close out this one. A 31-3 dominant win. We did our part here to make sure we put ourselves in a spot to claim our division. Just comes down to if the Broncos helped us out by taking down the Houston Texans. But Houston would stay alive for now. Despite giving up 13 points in the fourth quarter, Denver could not overcome. So now in week 14, where you have 5 games left and the Houston Texans 5 games back, 4.5 as we talked about earlier, with them having that one win against us. This is decision week, and it's a twofer as we play against the Baltimore Ravens. As it stands, Baltimore is currently second in seeding. If we could get an extra win on them, that'll help separate us up top where we currently and look to hold the number 1 seed. So as we head out to enemy territory, it's Sunday night prime time against the Baltimore Ravens in a game that very much has playoff implications. We'll be jumping into this one rather early, as the Ravens are in plus side and almost again having Mason Smith jump off sides, but he's back while Jackson takes his time here. Pre-snap to hand it off and get stuffed at the line. Devin Lloyd and Raheem Griffey. A hot start for us, at least out on this field. We keep it 2nd and 10 at the 46. Now they get motion. Try to leak across, but it's good flow. Once again, Devin Lloyd teaming up this time with Emerson. We were just talking in that previous game at how good of a season Lloyd has put together. We could use with him and the rest of the defense here with a 3rd and 9. A chance to get off the field. Pass is out. And slipping underneath Emerson, it's Palmer for the first down. That's exactly why open field tackling is such a key part of the game. Keeps this drive alive here for the Ravens as they look to go play action. That ball is free. Scooped up here. It's Walker. You should have let Yancey scoop and score on that one. But we will take the turnover as he had a clear shot. Did not bite on the read option action. Plants the shoulder as well of Jackson into the turf. That one you know has got to hurt. That gives Polk and this offense the ball starting close to midfield, the 43, where they come out with a shotgun look, 2 spread to the left, 1 to the right. Looking to capitalize, that ball's out quickly to Etienne. He takes a big shot there, but holds on. Just as we've seen from him in seasons past, he's getting the work done both on the ground and in the air. But after that hit, Sammy Perkins will check in here. Madison Turner motioning out as they go with a power toss. Sticking the foot in the ground, Perkins will pick up that first down. He's been a solid guy at getting that job done, both this year and last year. Quite a few touchdowns to start his career, doing a similar job as Polk once again scrambles, sliding down as he passes the 30-yard line. Just as good of a job as Perkins has done with picking up first downs, Polk has done by just picking up free yardage. Why risk throwing the ball when you could just get something done with your legs? Unable to do that on that one as he takes a big shot from the blitz. 2nd and 10 as the pass falls incomplete here at the 28. Poole in motion. He had a little bit of a rough go the last few games. Hopefully he bounces back, as Thomas is going to have to bounce back from that drop. A little bit behind, but intended. Polk found him on that quick stop route across the middle, setting up a 3rd and 10. They go empty set. Making a change out there, though, is Polk. Might see something he likes. Rolling to the right here. It's out for Etienne. And that was the route change he had installed. Down to the 6. Go the Jags. And it's just acting on his feet, which is what has made Polk one of the best quarterbacks here in the NFL, only being in his, 2nd, 3rd year. 1st and goal. It's Etienne down the middle. Legs churned across that goal line. And that puts Jacksonville on top here following the turnover forced by Walker and the defense. But jumping forward here early in the second quarter, we'd find another turnover on Lamar Jackson, an interception by Tyson Campbell. And that would give our Jaguar offense a chance to find a 2-score lead as they take over inside the red zone. Bunch to the left-hand side here for Polk, as he'll look to get this one outside to Etienne, a short grab, gain of 2. But we'll take any gain we can get. Perkins checks in there to follow here at the 15. It's a power run, which he looks to get outside, and this time Madison Turner does not get the big block to set the edge. If he did, Perkins might be dancing in the end zone. Instead, we're facing a 3rd and 9 here. Back to that bunch look, this time right side. Hard count, no one, jumps for Polk. As he lets this one fly, he's got Poole wide open for a 2-score lead. He worked his way across the defense, and ultimately someone forgot to tell one of their partners out there on defense, hey, you got a guy coming, because they left him completely wide open, and Polk was not gonna miss that throw. With the pressure now building here for the Ravens, they're putting together a strong drive, needing to answer. About 5 minutes to go here in the first half, and it's going to be play action. Lamar Jackson throws out to his left-hand side, and once again, Palmer with space slips by 2 and nearly picks up the first down. Got to do a much better job not leaving those underneath guys wide open, because they're making us pay for it so far in this game. Though up 2 touchdowns, looking to keep it as such with motion here. Their tight end, a little zig motion. Play action pass is downfield and nearly picked off, intended for Bateman. Campbell could have had a second. That's really exactly what we're looking to see here. We want to force Jackson into some mistakes. That's where we've done our best against some of these top-tier quarterbacks. Motioning over to the right-hand side, that's going to be Andrews. Leak him out underneath. Attempting the chop down was Campbell, but picking up the first down goes Andrews. Good news for Duval is they had Amerson out there still to help out, get that tackle, but 1st and 10 here at the 15. More pre-snap movement all the way across goes Palmer. Bringing the blitz here, it's picked up well, and downfield toe tapping is the touchdown to Zay Flowers. Baltimore answers back here to get themselves back into this game, 14-7. The last thing you want to do here is let Baltimore gain momentum at home. It's a 4th and 3 inside their own 40, and the offense stays out there with a hard count that should be a free play. Though he has an open target, that's going to be Thomas with the catch this time, converting the first down here on 4th. You can decline that penalty. Though Coach Boston has been so good at getting some of those free plays if they need it. Polk snaps that ball with a second to spare before the break, throwing and hooking up with Sexton, breaking through 2 tackles and getting out of bounds at the 35. You had Polk delivered that pass while getting nailed. That's why it came out a little bit wobbly. But here at the 35, they got a fresh set of downs here inside the 2-minute warning. Looking for some more crossers. They're going to hook up back again with Sexton to the 22. Now at this point, you might consider slowing down the offense a little bit here. Would like to take up as much time as possible. As we clock in under 1:15 to go here, they bring the blitz, but that passes out to Etienne. But a great open field tackle, Roquan Smith, plus a penalty down. That one's actually going to go against the Ravens. They get Matabuke with the late hit on Polk. Good news there, and also good news, Etienne did get up a little bit slow following that hit by Roquan Smith, but he's out there for the 1st and 10 at the 11. They drop back to pass here. It's to Etienne, who can't hold on. That's a rare drop for him. Normally pretty sure-handed as a running back. But 1:06 to go here, you got plenty of time. The pump fake and throwing that one away. Addison in the area. Hamilton also in a good spot to make sure that pass was broken up if it was anywhere close. But a 3rd and 10. You can get a first down at the 1, and you're going to get 5 yards closer here. That's not going to be on Aquanu. Instead, it's going to be encroachment on Clayton Springs. That's another penalty you know Coach Boston is going to take. Now down to the 6, a little bit closer to either convert that first down or find the end zone. It's to Addison, caught but marked inches short. I don't think Polk agrees, or he's telling his coach on the sideline, let's be smart about this. Let's stay out on the field. It's goal line, goal line, and it's a touchdown for Jeff Polk, surfing over the body of Quinn Miners and into that end zone. Once again, a 2-score lead here for Jacksonville in Baltimore. Right now, Jackson is trying to claw something back for the Ravens. 15 seconds to go, no more timeouts. They'd have to get a big play and get out of bounds. Jackson throws late, sailing out of bounds. Now they are at the 35. With that, they are in field goal range. Coach Boston trying to ice Moody. Honestly, for any NFL kicker, this is very much from makeable range. About a 52-yarder right down the middle. Frankly, if the Ravens are going to be aggressive, so will the Jaguars. Lining up here with seconds to go. It's going to be play action here, and under pressure, that ball's popped up, and it's picked off Madden, who will have a free shot to the end zone, a pick 6 by Baltimore to close out the half. They find 10 points when they shouldn't have had a single one following that Jeff Polk touchdown. And just like that, we've got a ball game as we hit halftime. Just an absolutely ridiculous way for that first half to come to a close, but hey, we are closing in at the end of Madden 25, so what's not some more shenanigans? As it is 21-17, Jacksonville is atop right now. We would love to find some other big news of other top teams losing. And for the Patriots, that is a good one for us, just helping us separate from some of those teams chasing behind they lose to the Browns. As for Miami, against the Bengals, they too drop a game, 35-32. Thank you, Joe Burrow, and your 5 touchdowns against only 4 from Tua. Another look here around the rest of the league. Unfortunately, though, no update on Kansas City. But as we get into our second half here, it's yet another 4th down inside our own 40, and the offense stays out there. Goal line set, and Madison Turner with a bunch of space gets to the midfield logo. And they're going hurry up off of it. Trying to see if they could catch this defense sleeping, perhaps. It's going to be a play action roll to the outside, and he throws the pick. I don't think that ball went anywhere close to where it was intended. Jonathan Harris happens to be right place, right time. It looked like he was going downfield. It would have either been Poole or Sexton. He got hit, I believe, Matabuke at the point of the release, and it took about 15 yards off that pass to Poole. Harris even looked directly at him right before he got that pick. It's not looking too promising for how Madden is playing with us right now. A lot of plays that we've made before in the past or just frankly haven't seen throughout this entire year of Jaguar football. We're seeing here at the tail end, holding a 4-point lead. We need some big plays from this defense to keep it intact. Flowers, though, with that catch, breaks it to the outside, picking up 6. Outside the pass to him up the seam. Most of the throws here for Jackson has really been within 5 yards, if not in the backfield. So 2nd and 4, they look to set up a screen, but he can't get it out cleanly. It's a sack for Junior Alford. It's that D-line we need to see step up in a big way here to close out this one. 3rd and 13, Walker gets pressure, but escaping is Jackson, only to throw it to the trainer's table. That will be a punt forced following that wacky turnover. And it would be a touchdown to Travis Etienne following that. But take a look just at where these lines went. We lost 3 on play 1, had a sack back at our own 7-yard line with a 3rd and 23. We convert, and then Travis gets the job done. That's what I'm talking about. That's Jacksonville football. That gives us a bit of cushion as we jump forward now in the fourth quarter. 6:40 and counting. We're up 11 points here. Jackson goes deep downfield and Palmer left wide open. He beat Emerson. I'm not sure what the coverage was there, if they were sitting down in a cover 2 or not. But Palmer, who's been their primary man underneath, gets wide open downfield. And that pushes this one back to a 1-score game. But they're not done out on that field yet. Right now, sitting at a 5-point game. They want to make it a field goal game, keeping the offense out there. 2-point try with immediate pressure, and Yancey breaks it up, intended for Andrews. With at least a touchdown game here. 28-23, we hit the field to start the following drive, and it's ETN with a little bit of space, picking up a gain of 6. And thanks to that massive touchdown run he had earlier, he's sitting close to 10 yards a carry, a little bit over. 2nd and 4 here, they go with a draw. Trying to follow those blocks, he picks up 1, maybe 1.5 there. Either way, sets up a 3rd and 3. And it's going to be empty set here. With a hard count, that'll be a free first down. But they will have it with Addison. However, barely being the case there, this is one you might actually take the penalty. It's really not much of a difference, but it does move you from the 41 to the 42. We'll take any bit closer to the end zone we can get. Polk tries a hard count again there. Doesn't quite work, and then he misses the throw. I don't know if you can really count that as a DPI. It didn't look catchable, but the ref feels otherwise. They get Wiggins on that late grab there. Perhaps that's Madden just making up for all the wacky turnovers he forced earlier in this one. ETN gain of 9, and that puts him over the century mark in this one. We'll be relying on him and the rest of the running back group to try to close this game out. Inside 4:20, that play clock down inside 5. I form here, snapping that ball. It's ETN taking on Roquan Smith for that first down. Getting the job done there. He'll earn his breather. Perkins checks in here, back in shotgun. 2 to the right-hand side. Getting that clock just rolling, melting down. They find Sexton on the outside. Another short gain. Roquan Smith there, his 5th tackle of the game. Right now, every little bit counts as we look to just melt that clock away here from the Ravens. Find a stamper in this one. Play action, and checking that one down. It's ETN, close to another first down. He has 45 yards through the air as well here today. Touches around 20 in total. With a 3rd and inches, I would expect that they might look to give him yet another touch here. Hamilton walks down right-hand side. Running left side, ETN has that first down. The clock is just falling away here for the Ravens with every first down gained. Inside the 2-minute break now at the 28, it's 1st and 10. And it's ETN left side. He slips by 2, tracked down from behind. But speaking of behind, it's a holding call to bring us back. That time they get Kevin Poole on the hold, the tight end. Doing a little bit too much there. 1st and 20, Colbert in motion. He's going to take the jet sweep. Look to get outside, and he finds a couple yards. But once again, I think this one will be coming back. Another holding call. Poole off the field this time. They give it on Luke Bacon. Instead, a 1st and 28 here, almost back the midfield line. Levy Brown checks in. They go his way out on the screen, but gets dumped quickly by Springs. Baltimore also calls their first timeout there, as they've got 2 more remaining, 1:49, a 2nd and 27. With a hard count, make that 2nd and 22. Getting the Ravens to jump off yet again is Jeff Polk. His bark out there honestly needs to be studied by young quarterbacks coming up, because it's working to almost to perfection. The 2nd and 22. Tries again out to Brown, but can't get the pass off cleanly. Ratliff, who was just called with that offsides, blows up that play. 3rd and 22. Now you want to make sure you keep that clock rolling, or go ahead and move again a little bit closer here. It's still going to be 3rd and almost a country mile. It leaves you perhaps a little bit more likely to even get into field goal range. Make this an 8-point game here late. That could be huge. Polk here has to find that or more, and he hooks up with Sexton. Put that one on the money in tight coverage. Now the Ravens celebrating because they do force a fourth down here, but you got Cam Little right hash, and this is well within his distance to knock that through, but a late flag could be a free first down as they run into the kicker. Baltimore shooting themselves in the foot here with penalties on a drive they had to come up clutch. Instead, the offense will have another chance at points. ETN leaks through, can't shake by Hamilton, but a gain of 9 to the 6. With no more timeouts, a first down here would seal this game. They stack the left side. It's ETN. Close, stacked up at the line, but the refs motion for the first down. That is your ball game. We'll see Polk come out here with the offense to kneel it down and to run out the remaining time. Madden and the Ravens make things interesting here, but that is yet another division title for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They win it on the road and they take down one of their competitors for that #1 seed, getting a game up here on the Ravens, putting them solely now 2 games up. It really might just be coming down to a late season attempt here by the Kansas City Chiefs. And indeed, the division has been clinched, the first of the AFC teams to do so. Right now, you got the Ravens, the Dolphins, and the Chiefs, all 10-3. Now, obviously, we have that 2.5 game advantage really on the Ravens, as they are 2 losses more than us, plus that head-to-head win in our favor. So once again, we are 1 more win away from knocking another team out of hopes for that #1 spot. Dolphins and the Chiefs, however, would basically need to win out. As it stands, this #1 seed is ours to lose. But we just so happen to be playing some NFC North teams in the last few weeks, with our final remaining game as well against the Tennessee Titans in the next 3 in total. These games can be close, but if we pick up 2 wins here, that should be the season all in our favor. As we keep our Purple Road streak alive, we head out to Minnesota to start with a quarter sim, and they drive down the field finding a touchdown. We only answer with a field goal ourselves. Minnesota up here, finding another field goal. We find a second field goal, and the half comes to a close with Minnesota in front here, 10-6. We'll look to get through the third quarter as well. Driving down the field, Minnesota now goes up 11 as we enter the fourth quarter. With where we are in this game, we will 100% be jumping in a 3rd and 2. Polk under center, I form, gets the hard count and gets yet another free first down. Those barks are just incredible. And that's something that would have had to come natural to him. Coach Boston, a tight end, wouldn't have been able to really coach him up on that. 1st and 10, it's ETN trying to follow behind the pole, but no space. He's maybe back to the line. Now, we did see a fair few amount of turnovers in that last game. Minnesota 7th this year in forced turnovers. Haven't had one yet, but they jump well late. And with that ball not even getting by the offensive line, we'll take the free 5. That time, Dallas Turner just seemingly lost his head, jumping when there wasn't a hard count given. 2nd and 4. Dropping back and throwing. Caught Sexton for the first down. And we're going to see a little bit of hurry up here coming from Polk in the offense. They're currently down 11 points here. Need 2 strong drives with a stop in between. Rolling here, and once again, he's going to find his tight end Sexton out at the 31. Only 71 passing yards today for Polk, so really the passing game just has not shown up in this one, resulting in just the 6 points scored. As 2 receivers combine downfield here, Polk scrambles and gets out a late shove. Not penalized. Did look there, though, at the tail end that the referee had a word, though, with the defender for Minnesota. Would have liked the free 15. Polk stepping up here. He scrambles, sliding with the first down gain at the 20. They'll go hurry up. Going to flip the look, though. Tight end's going to motion over to the right-hand side. Addison and Thomas go out to the left. Perhaps a little bit of a revenge game here for Addison. Under pressure, and that will be a sack. Pickens escorts him very nicely down to the ground, even tucked him in there at the end. One of the softest tackles I've ever seen here in the game, very reminiscent of all of the analysts showing people how to tackle someone without getting a targeting call. As this one is left up and tipped out of the hands of Sexton. It looked like he almost had the touchdown. Not sure you could really get much closer than that. A high ball left it 50-50. Fortunately, Sexton couldn't bring it in. Double A gap look here with a 3rd and 17. And again under pressure, this one's out. Poole lays out for it, but not anywhere close to where that ball was thrown. So you're now left with a 4th and 17, and here you do kind of have to settle for that field goal. Down 11, make it down by 8. And that means you're going to have to find a touchdown and a 2-point conversion just to tie this game. And for the Vikings, J.J. McCarthy having his career year this year in the top 5 in passing yards. Right now, you got to imagine they're going to run the ball as they do their first down to Harvey. He picks up 1. Making sure you get off the field here as quickly as possible is key. Justin Jefferson out to the left-hand side here, trips to the right. They go back to the run game with awkward running back numbers, I must say. Barlow, number 11, picks up a couple. That leaves a 3rd and 5 here for Jacksonville. They've got to get this stop, as they will. The pressure takes the step into that throwaway. It's Hall on the blitz, and a quick 3 and out coming from the defense. You've got to remember, you need some big plays. You got just under 4 minutes left in this one. You're down 8 points. A touchdown and a 2-point try is basically a must. Poole steps up and cannot escape. Dallas Turner smacking him down as he just got back to the line of scrimmage. They will, however, go hurry up. Keep him with a 2 spread either side. Bring the blitz off the edge. And that one's going to be into the turf. Pass rush teeing up here for the Minnesota Vikings, trying to close out this game. As they go out with a trips look to the right-hand side, 1 to the left. Polk. No blitz this time, but a clobbering block sets ETN for that first down. I believe that was Quinn Miners, who just absolutely destroyed one of the guys on the outside. But no time to celebrate that. Addison with a half step perhaps on Murphy. Can't grab it. Just tipped away. I think it went off of his own knee. That could have been a huge play here for the Jacksonville offense. Instead, it is 2nd and 10. As they go with a draw, ETN with space down the middle, hit at the end, actually propels him forward for that first down, and will go hurry up again off of it. 1st and 10 facing that pressure. And I don't know what Polk was doing there, but he takes the sack. Normally in those situations, they'll toss it up in a one-on-one. Had Colbert down the sideline, but he ran right into Dallas Turner, losing 9. And just airmails Colbert that time. 2-minute warning hits. It's 3rd and 19. Obviously, you're sitting in 4-down territory here. Would hate to drop a game this late. A lot on their minds. Hard count, a little bit of a wiggle, but no one fully jumps. Rolling to the outside, looking downfield. Thomas! It's tipped, and he couldn't find it post-tip. But what a throw there from Polk. Gave him every opportunity. Perhaps if it dropped a little bit quicker, it would have fit right into the hole in coverage. But it's 4th and potentially game right here. That will be a free play. Coming across and wide open is Colbert for the first down. He gets out of bounds at the 40. You can decline that penalty. Showing up here late. Just an absolutely clutch play to get so wide open. They ran the double post concept. Down to the 34. Back out to ETN. Trying to follow his blocks, but can't get by 24. A great open field tackle while getting shoved down. Just phenomenal play there from the safety. It's 2nd and 3. Just outside a minute to go here. They go with some play action. And Polk picks up that first down. Nothing more, nothing less. And goes hurry up off of it. Gonna move ETN to the right-hand side. Sexton to the right with some help out at receiver. And it's broken up. A diving play from the linebacker. Gotta love the effort coming from both sides of the ball here. 31 seconds to go. You still have all the timeouts you need, but you gotta have the touchdown. You gotta have the two-pointer. Outside here, Addison can't get that second foot inbounds. 3rd and 10. Good news here for Jacksonville is you do have those timeouts. You do have 4 downs. 2 more remaining here. You don't have to get it all on the one play. To the outside. They will have some of it to Sexton. 4th and game following the timeout from Coach Boston. In this situation, you very much are focused on getting that first down. You could wait on the touchdown with 2 more timeouts. Hard count, no one jumps. They do not try a second hard count. Polk steps up. He has the first down. He cuts back to the left. He's got the touchdown with 15 to go. Jacksonville is within 2 from tying this game and sending us into overtime. But what a cutback there from the quarterback. All the rushing plays this year very much panning out. You're at the 2 here, and you need 2 more points. Bunch to the right. This will be a free play. If it counts, great. If it doesn't, oh well. Polk takes it in himself. Decline that penalty. He completes the 8-point play to tie us up with 15 seconds to spare. Well, by the time the offense would see the field, it means 11 seconds. And you don't want to give up anything cheap here, as they just look to actually hand that ball off. Amerson with the tackle. Timeout called, as now they look to potentially let that ball fly. Wanted to see what they could get with a cheeky run play. 8 seconds to go. It's 2nd and 3. Everyone going deep down the middle. Pressure arrives. Getting the pass breakup is Yancey. If he held on to that, he had blockers downfield. Who knows? There still could be another down for a similar situation. Final play here of regulation. Everyone goes deep. And breaking one, McCarthy will just go down. We've got extra football here in Minnesota. Jacksonville storms back behind 11 points in the 4th quarter to tie us up at 17 apiece. And now the offense will have a chance to walk this game off. They need a touchdown to do so, as we start 69 yards away. Single high safety for Minnesota. Polk rolls to the outside here as he'll just look to take it himself, picking up a few. I'm sure, though, this defense sick of seeing him run around on them. 2nd and 7 for Jacksonville as they look to hand this one off. It's Etienne taking a shoulder. No gain, and Colbert looks to be a bit banged up out there on the field. He's going to make his way to the tunnel. And the Jags, they do run deep when it comes to tight end. Receiver, that's a different category. De Carvalho, the rookie, checks in on the left side. A 3rd and 7 with a hard count, make it 3rd and 2. The DT is pissed off out there. Looks like he's trying to claim the offensive lineman move, but that is most definitely not the case. It's 3rd and now 2 as Polk gets them set up to run this ball. Etienne right behind the pulling guard in Hartwell has the first down, but a very, very late flag comes in. As Etienne was being dragged to the ground, they call holding. I don't know about you, but that smells of Roger Goodell. 3rd and 8 now. It's further away than where we were. Hard count, and it will be a free play, as Turner has a beat on him, but cannot get the tackle in time. Completing the first down, it's to Thomas. Another penalty we can decline. Given the fact that he was the one that jumped early, there's no excuse for him to not get that sack. 1st and 10. Tight shotgun look here. Going to be a check down to Etienne. He's spun by 1. Good news help there for the Vikings. And that's actually Brian Asamoah, who's now the starter here, finally getting his chance. He's been buried on the roster for quite a few years now. Play action pass here, dumping this one off. That's Sexton, close to another first down, but a couple yards short. It's 3rd and 2. Obviously, we just saw this team convert basically the 3rd and 2, called back there late on a cheap penalty. And they have a similar result, though no penalty. Etienne busted to the outside. And again, great open field tackle, number 24. That's Peppers. Okay, then. I don't think that's the Peppers that I'm thinking of. If it is, what a comeback. Throwing outside here. That's going to be Thomas getting the block from Madison. He's down inside the 15. 13 yards from walking this game off. And right now, you've got to keep in the back of your head. Polk scrambles. He found the end zone around this range last time to send us to OT. First down here, he throws. That's to Thomas. Shaking one, but can't keep his feet. He's down at the 3. Jacksonville's sideline is lit. Hoping to close this game here. A flag immediately as that ball is snapped as Etienne fights through the congestion for the touchdown. But what's the penalty here? It looks like it's on the Vikings lining up in the neutral zone. You can decline. That is a walk-off touchdown for Etienne. And KOC with a blank stare over at the sideline. He can't believe the Vikings gave that game up. Up 11 in the fourth quarter, and they couldn't do a thing to close this game out. Jacksonville steals one in Minnesota as they're looking to solidify themselves as the number 1 seed of the AFC. And how fitting it is that we could look to do so in our final rivalry game against the Titans. Once again, starting here with a quarter sim. Somehow, one of the teams doesn't end up, or no team ends up with points, despite some long drives there in that first quarter. 0-0 as we get into the second. We do find a field goal, giving up a field goal, and a whole lot of defense here battling it out in the AFC South. We move to the third quarter. And we do take a lead, but Tennessee answers. Fourth quarter has arrived. We have ball with a 3rd and 5. So hitting the field here, we look to once again take a lead. A touchdown lead would be great. Hard count, and we've got another free play here, but we don't need it. We've got Sexton down to around the 17. We're really seeing the wear and tear of the season have an effect on the minds of these players here late, jumping quite often. Polk going back to the air here. He's got Addison, who will get clotheslined there coming from Melvin. Gain of 9. That leaves him inside the 10 here at the 8. Just needing one more for a fresh set of downs. It's Etienne picking up that first down and keeping those legs chugging down to the 3. And it's yet another season for him, surpassing the 1,000-yard mark. He definitely had a hiccup before Coach Boston arrived, but since then, he's been undeniable, as that touchdown is undeniable despite the effort of the big old DT. Travis Etienne Jr. with yet another rushing touchdown has Jacksonville on top here in Nashville. But we would need Etienne at least one more time in this game. A 4th and 1 following a drive that ended too early for Tennessee to respond. We could really end the game here with a first down. Etienne will get the job done. And all we have to do is milk some clock. I'm sure Etienne would love another 100-yard game under his belt. He needs 7 more yards to do so. Which will be the final play here before the 2-minute break. He might find that 7 yards and more. Bursting through, he's still going. Finally taken down at the 21. 123 yards on 20 carries for 2 touchdowns. But they will force him to have one more play here pre-2-minute warning, as he did land out of bounds there. They will snap the ball, not looking to, in fact, hand it off. Instead, Polk bounces to the outside with nothing but green grass. Runs us to a 2-score lead here on the Tennessee Titans. Another collapse late in a game by a team that was putting up good defense for about 3 quarters. But Jeff Polk, he's not going to miss out on such wide open spaces. And that would see us through to a 24-10 final game against the Tennessee Titans. And we're just hoping with a couple other teams dropping a game that we just clinched our bye in the NFL playoffs. But for some reason, at least to me, the math is not mathing. If we take a look here over at the AFC, the Ravens are 2.5 games behind us with that head-to-head win. The Chiefs are 3 games behind, and we only have 2 games left. You tell me why we still only have the why and nothing else? We do have the Green Bay Packers up next, the Chiefs in Week 18. And even if the Chiefs were to beat us behind 3 games, if we even lost out, mathematically, it should be a lock, right? Well, I guess that'll force us out to a cold Lambeau Field, where we will get stuck into another quarter sim here. And Green Bay has the first quarter 7-3. Jumping into the second quarter here, we drive down, get another field goal, but they get another touchdown before we answer with one of our own and a late field goal to take the lead before halftime. 16-14, make that 23-21. A lot of points going back and forth as we'll look to slow this down a little bit. Green Bay does convert, and then they follow it up with a big play to Romeo Doubs, 14 yards, driving down the field here inside the 30 before they backpedal with a sack coming in from Junior Alford. They'll get back the loss. 3rd and 10. They will have to settle for a field goal that gives them the lead with Brandon Harris hitting the 44-yarder. While we've played these late games close, we've come out on the better end. We'd like one more of those here to seal our fate if it has not already been sealed, though ETN stuffed 11 carries, 34 yards, and he loses one on that play. Seemingly the run game not quite been there today. That could be with the fact that Madison Turner's out, our fullback. Poole's having to fill in, and he's played iffy at that fullback spot at best. ETN takes the toss weak side. He picks up 2, but it's 3rd and 9. Green Bay here, desperate to try to fight their way into the playoff picture at 8 and 7, could really use with a stop, but they can't hold their water. Polk gets another one to jump off sides. And you know these coaches are drilling it into their defenses. Wait till that ball moves, because Polk will do 1, 2, sometimes even 3 hard counts. Eventually, he will try to get you as he finds Thomas here for the first down to the 40. And for Jeff Polk, while it was a slow start to the year passing, he's definitely picked things up here in the second half. Over 3K, 20 passing touchdowns. He's over 300 passing yards in this game. As he throws, open is Sexton, but a flag down. There was a couple guys running into each other on some crossers. They're actually going to get holding. They get Akeem Ekwonu over at that left guard spot. Now, he missed that last game against the Tennessee Titans with a practice injury, so perhaps just coming in a little bit rusty in this one. But a 1st and 20. That's got Addison to the outside, and he snags it down to the 28. Jeff Polk, 37 yards from a 400-yard day through the air. We might just have enough space to try to get that done here. But what a throw from Polk. We have exactly 28 yards to the end zone. With just about 3 minutes here to go, hard count, no one jumps this time. Polk stepping up, rolling to the outside here. He stays behind the lines, but delivers a ball too far out in front for Addison. Give him some credit, though. He laid out for it. He tried there for Polk. The 2nd and 10, 3:01 on the clock. Again with that hard count, no one jumps this time. And looking for a one-on-one here at the sideline. He caught it, but he lands out of bounds. Alexander pushing him out of bounds. So a 3rd and 10 then here. You're currently down a point. You want more than a field goal. And you'll get a free play here as they bring that pressure, and Colbert pulls up on it. He easily could have had that grab with even more after. We will have to then settle instead for that penalty this time. A 3rd and 5. Not going to be able to hit the over 400 with the distance we have to go here. But he finds Colbert this time with the first down. He tries the spin, not going to slip by. Polk at 374. On top of that, he's only had 7 incomplete passes, a couple of which could have very well been catches. Just before the 2-minute warning here, they will have to snap that ball. A tight shotgun look. And nearly picked off by the defensive lineman. I don't know what was intended there. Etienne was definitely trapped in the backfield, and it was an underhand throw there from Polk. I don't know if he just was hoping that one would safely hit the ground or not. He throws here to Addison, who tries another spin move, not going to get by, but a 3rd and 3 thanks to number 3 with 9 grabs, 144 yards. Feel like we got to get that man in the end zone. With a 3rd and 3, this could be a great opportunity. He lines up to the left-hand side. Under center here is Polk. Needing to get this down, converted, and he gets the touchdown as well to Jordan Addison. Now, if you take the point after, that leaves this a 6-point ball game. You might want to go for 2 here. It looks like that is exactly what Coach Boston is thinking as well. He keeps his offense out there with a spread empty look. Thomas to the left slot. Colbert tied us in on the right side. They snap that ball. Scrambling here. Polk to the outside once again late in a game. Uses his legs to find the advantage. It's 31-24. And that'll leave Jordan Love and the Packers just under 2 minutes to try to answer as he somehow squeezes that one in between the linebackers. 246 for him throwing, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Quite honestly, should have had a second pick there, at least a pass breakup. 1st and 10, facing the blitz. Here comes Walker in hot pursuit. Slaps him down at the 30-yard line. An 11-yard loss. And Love is just shaking his head. Don't know if he's asking for a penalty there or too rough of a hit. I don't know. Across the middle, a well-timed pass breakup, but playing the player rather than the ball. The ref decides this time it is a penalty on Cole Hall. A free 1st down for the Packers. If he perhaps played the ball more than the player, maybe not. But I don't know. It's a cheap call either way as Watson gets the grab there, just a gain of 2. Ticking close to a minute to go here. Packers do have 2 timeouts. Under pressure, he rifles it to the outside and finds Watson. Getting out of bounds as well. But with 1:02 here on the clock, Jacksonville defense running around to cover the empty look. Throw is outside and caught again by Watson. Campbell playing soft coverage. He too well over 100 yards receiving. As we're inside a minute to go here. And Love looks to scramble out. Takes on the contact down inside the red zone. They need the end zone. Not sure why you're wasting time arguing with Lloyd when you're the one behind. About 20 seconds to play here. And dropped by their tight end. Spillman couldn't hold on. It was good coverage there on the outside. Didn't see who it was. Might have been Jerry and Jones. The 2nd and 10. And rush coming from the backside, but Walker shows up to force that throwaway. It was Rakeem Griffey with the early pressure. I feel like it's been perhaps a little too long since we called Griffey's name. We could use him here with a 3rd and 10. Defense spreads out. They drop an extra man back in coverage, but it's a beautiful throw and even a better route there from Watson to find the end zone. Sub 20 seconds left here. Point after would tie the game. Rakeem Griffey about a half step too late. Devin Lloyd couldn't cover the wheel route. But Harris will have to hit this one. And he's got it right down the middle. 9 seconds to go to try to win this in regulation. The offense will take the field at the 30. You got 2 spread either side here. You want to get at least into field goal range. Rolling to the outside here, tossing this one up. It's to Colbert, who had it in his hands for a millisecond. You got to take a shot to the end zone now. They'll come out with trips to the right. Thomas will be spread to the right-hand side. Addison to the left. 2 fantastic safeties sitting deep here for the Packers. Hard count trying to get that free play. Not going to work out. This pass is out for Addison. who gets the grab but trips down on the corner. And we are headed to another overtime game. We were lucky enough last time to start with the ball. Not so lucky this time. It's Packer ball at the 30. They're going to get motion all the way to the outside, and here comes apparently no pressure, but it's picked off. That's going to be our ball cutting back to the right. Emerson couldn't break away, but it's a one-play drive for the Packers, forcing it downfield under pressure, and he didn't even have to force it because Walker tripped down falling on his face, just like Addison did before the end of regulation. And that sets up our Jacksonville Jaguars plus side at the 45 to try to walk this game off. A field goal would get the job done. Addison in motion all the way across here. He's got his tight end open. That's going to be Poole shaking one, dragging another down to the 20. And 465 yards on the day for Polk. He's looking to potentially get that a little closer to 500. The passing touchdown. Rolling to the outside here, though, and getting rid of it. Flag down in the backfield. Looks like this one will be marching us backwards. Quentin Starks perhaps trying to help Polk get to that 500 yards through the air. The 1st and 20. They'll go with the screen. It's out to ETN. Block set on the edge, but couldn't cut back underneath him. He had a wall if he was able to do so. They will get back to the line here quickly. Polk getting them set. Trip stay right side with a hard count. No one jumps. Rolling. Polk cuts back to the left-hand side. This time he does not have the end zone, but came up close. This isn't Minnesota, but almost was the same type of play. ETN here tries to go airborne and gets planted at about the half-yard line. And his ankle does not feel so good following that tackle. This plays exactly like that on why I was hoping we would have clinched after that previous game against the Titans. We'll look to do so here inside the 1. It's Perkins. Goal line stuffed. But Polk is saying, let's keep it rolling here. 3rd and goal. We'll try it one more time, and Perkins can walk in this time. No shot a team can come back even if we drop the final game of the season. We walk it off here in Lambeau, 37-31. And now we've got our eyes strictly set on the playoffs. We're not even talking wild card round. We're talking divisional round. As once again, we have a chance to defend our title and look to three-peat before this series comes to a close. And they now oh so graciously give us our Z. We have clinched home field advantage, so in week 18, we're going to send out the backups, and we'll quickly get through that game and see what they can manage against the Chiefs. As we kickstart our final game here at home, we will start again with that quarter sim. We'll look to jump in a little bit in the 4th quarter as the backups are tied here with the Chiefs through the first, 7 apiece. Chiefs, though, do quickly claim a lead and grow it here, 21-10, make it 28-10 as we get into the second half. I would expect the Chiefs to pull away here in this one. As we do not find points there, we head to the 4th quarter. Let's try to finish this drive with the offense. Now we do have the rookie quarterback out there in Dubose. Haven't seen him whatsoever. Perkins, the running back. Colbert, Thomas, and De Carvalho, the receiver. Poole at tight end. So we've got quite a few rookies out there. Plus a couple other key rotational guys like Perkins on the screen here, converting the first down. 143 yards through the air for Dubose. 2 interceptions. So hard to say he's really taking advantage of this opportunity, but playing against a tough opponent and misses that throw to De Carvalho. He was a bit of a flyer pick for us, someone that fell in the draft, and we decided we'd pick him up. It worked out pretty well for us last season. Dubose scrambles here. He gets to the outside. He's got some speed with the first down, spun down at the 33. Would still love to see this game end close, even though the Chiefs are playing their starters at 12-4. Their playoffs are really locked in, just kind of playing for seeding right now. Dubose goes to scramble again, sliding down at the 22. 3 rushes, 32 yards for him. And hurry up here for the offense. Keeps 2 stacked to the right-hand side. And wide open outside, De Carvalho to the end zone. The first career touchdown for both De Carvalho and Dubose. The rookies hook up wide open on the corner route. But how about we take a little look at this defense as well? We got Barnett, Wooden, Irwin, and Hughes out there. And of course, the linebackers as well, Bullitt and Starks, 2 younger guys. Haven't got quite so much opportunity, nearly getting the pass breakup, but holding on the outside. That was Holt in coverage. And he's nearly seen some playing time, but not quite so far. Pacheco slips the tackle. One diving defender comes up well empty. And the Chiefs re-widen that lead. So not a whole lot of good to see from this young defense, but that's why we signed some veterans to fill in the primary backup spot. And honestly, with the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, you expect them to take advantage of a second-team defense. And that they would. Bringing this game to a close, 35-17. We gift a win here late on to the Chiefs. But that win didn't quite matter for us. We already did our job in locking in our spot as, yet again, the AFC's #1 seed. But we got to see a little bit from some rookies on offense. De Carvalho with a touchdown, a good throw, and some scrambles as well from Dubose. But that takes us to our final episode, which will be out next Wednesday. And if you haven't heard, it's no longer a 3-day early access for Madden 26. It's a 7-day early access. So right the day after we finish this series, which again will be next Wednesday, we will go into a live stream. It'll probably be later in the day, so not the typical 12:30 Pacific time that we normally do. It'll be later in the day because I work that day. But we will get on into our new series. Let me know teams you would like to see. I already have my eyes on a couple. Haven't quite made my decision. But we will round out Jacksonville next time. As for who we're going to be playing against, well, Kansas City finishes with that 2nd seed. They play Miami, who dropped all the way down to that 7 spot. They were in range for that 2nd or 3rd spot when we started this episode. Baltimore, they're down at 3, playing a rival in the Steelers at 6. Patriots at 4, facing the Bills at 5. So it'll be pretty much playoffs as we have seen for majority of this series. So make sure you're there for it. Hit that bear icon on the bottom right or scroll down, hit the sub button and tap that bell icon so you're notified of when this series and all my other videos are live. And leave Coach Boston and this crew some love, as we'll have one final episode hoping to host that Lombardi for the final time before we head into a new journey. And let me know who you think might be taking over as either a head coach, potentially even a GM. Might play with some experience changes in the next Madden. But we will see you there on Thursday, back here for the final games on Wednesday.